Under the scope. Hey everybody, Shane and Jared back together.
Shane's back, look.
In quite some time for a Scope movie review.
Yeah.
This is very exciting. I love it because when we go see movies, it's always fun to review the cream of the crop and the bottom of the barrel. The ones in the middle, never a lot of fun.
No, we like our highs and lows.
So today, we're going to be bringing you a review of Robert Downey Jr., a.k.a. Tony Stark, his latest film, The Judge. Listen carefully as we decide whether this is cream of the crop or bottom of the barrel.
It's one or the other.
So, Jared, without further ado, why don't you tell our faithful fans what The Judge is about?
Wow, you're snappy today. Robert Downey Jr. plays a big city Chicago lawyer. He's high-priced, and he gets his defendants off, whether they're guilty or not. You've seen this kind of guy before in the films.
Yes.
But apparently, he has to rush home into middle of nowhere, Indiana.
Yep. Beautiful.
When he gets a call that his mother has passed away.
Who he has not seen in quite some time.
He's not been home. He's the kind of guy who doesn't go home. Okay. He's got beef with the family. There's bad blood. Dad, played by Robert Duvall, is a judge. He is the titular judge, as you might say.
Crusty old man.
He's been on the bench for 42 years. He's presided over all kinds of cases. And he's a man of the law.
Yeah. Terrible old man mullet, by the way. Trim that shit up.
Yeah. He's very regimented. He's very rules-oriented. And obviously, he and son have had a falling out over the years. Yep. There are two brothers, older and younger. Robert Downey Jr. is the middle. Hank is the middle brother. Yes. Glenn is an older brother who had a chance to become a star baseball player, but a car accident in his youth messed up his hand, couldn't continue. And younger brother, what was the younger brother's name?
Dale?
Dale? Sure. Hank, Dale, Glenn, sounds about right. They're like Huey, Dewey, and Louie, the ducks. He's mentally challenged.
Yep.
I'm assuming he still lives at home, and he likes to film things with his 8mm motion picture camera.
Did he go full-on retard?
I don't think he went full retard.
No.
He did not, so he made the right move. He took Robert Downey Jr.'s
That's a
advice.
Robert Downey Jr. reference, guys. Come on. We don't say that word.
So,
Redskins.
Obviously so. Hank goes home, attends the funeral. There's, bad blood all around. Obviously,
he's gonna get out of town.
Dad and son aren't gonna reconcile. So he's like, I'm on the next plane out of here. And so he's on the plane. He's going home, and he gets a phone call from older brother Glenn, and he's like, "Hey, I'm not getting off this plane unless he killed someone."
Because there's snakes on
there. So you've seen the trailer. You probably have. Dad has a car accident. Supposedly has hit someone and killed someone from his past. And our story is in motion.
Yes.
Obviously, Hank is going to stick around, defend his father in court against evil cartoon lawyer played by what's
Fargo, Billy Bob Thornton.
Yes, Billy Bob Thornton.
He's very similar to his character in Fargo, by the way. He's slick, smart, big white chiclet teeth.
Chiclet teeth. We also forgot about Vera Farmiga, or Farmiga, I don't know how you pronounce it, but she is the old girlfriend who stayed in town.
Made something of herself.
She's an entrepreneur, a local proprietress, if you will.
She got more money she knows what to do with.
She's doing all right. And her daughter figures into the story somehow.
Yeah, in a very creepy way, no matter how you slice it.
So there you go.
We don't even need to get into it.
That's the nuts and bolts of the story.
Okay. Boy, where do we start with this this piece of work? I said to Jared as we were walking out,
yes,
this is Robert Downey Jr.'s Pay It Forward. This is his Patch Adams. This is hubris, is what this is. This is a man who sort of lost his career, brought it back.
Yep.
He's a proven great actor. Let's not kid ourselves.
No,
he can
no
act.
doubt about it.
He's been nominated for Oscars. But then
sometimes you get a little too much control.
Maybe this is a passion project.
You get to a point where nobody's telling you shouldn't do that, or maybe you should change course. I think you might be, the audience might be catching on to what we actually feel about this film.
Yes. It is a movie that stars two terrific actors who are going through the motions.
Vincent D'Onofrio and Dax Shepard.
Dax Shepard, we forgot about Dax.
By the way, Dax Shepard is contractually obligated to appear in all films where the brother must return home to attend the funeral of a parent and then reconnect with his family and former lovers.
Hey,
I'm talking about This Is Where I Leave You. He was also in that one.
Gotcha. And listen, Jared, as I've gotten older, and you're an older fellow
We're rounding the bed now.
We are actually rounding the bed into middle age. I can be moved by stories that are there to tug on the heartstrings.
Sure.
I can be moved by a son reconnecting with his mother or father or whatever, strained family relations.
Sort of feeling one's mortality.
Yes.
And maybe trying to change your path in life because of that.
Yes,
sure.
And that's what this movie is. But it goes through all of the cliches that you could possibly imagine.
This movie ticks every box.
Every box.
This movie, everything happens on cue.
Yes.
Nothing unexpected happens.
No.
If you see your younger brother who shoots films and collects films, chances are those films are going to reveal something important to the story.
Yes. If you live in Chicago, big city Chicago, it's going to be shot with skyscrapers and harsh lighting. But when you go to small town Indiana, you've got lens flare, you've got a soft focus, you've got flowing cornfields, you've got a small town that looks like something out of 1955 where kids are jumping into the back of the pickup truck to go fishing.
Yep. If you're on a break, waiting for the verdict to come in, and you're having a soft moment with a former girlfriend in this town that maybe you're going to stay, maybe you're not, we're not really sure, chances are when that phone call comes in, it's going to be the verdict coming in.
Yep.
There is nothing unexpected.
No.
Everything is cliche.
In the biggest battle between the father and son, of course it's going to happen during a stormy tornado.
A raging storm.
Yep.
The weather mirrors our characters' emotions in the most blatant and obvious way. This is like...
It's filmmaking 101,
There's no subtlety to it. It's technically fine, but to an audience that isn't really well steeped in filmic language or doesn't see a lot of movies like the audience we were part of, chances are they will lap it up, they will love it, and they will tell all their friends to go see it, but we are not so easily swayed.
No. And Jared, during the film, leaned over and said, I feel like I'm watching two different movies.
Yes.
Because it thematically and emotionally, you're dealing with a murder case here.
Yes, so you're expecting it to be serious and dramatic, and the music underscores these emotions you're supposed to be feeling, but you'll have that juxtaposed with...
the charm of Robert Downey Jr.
Right.
The smugness of Robert Downey Jr.
Or small-town lawyer Dax Shepard vomiting before his first big case.
Yes.
With jaunty bluegrass music playing underneath it. It's just...
You can't make this stuff up.
And I'm a big fan of Robert Downey Jr., walking around spouting one-liners, but they don't fit in this movie.
No. If they would have cut out, if it just would have been the story of a stodgy old judge dealing with a son who is sort of a big city prick.
Sure.
And there was no murder? All right, now we've got something. We've got
a story that we've seen before, but at least it's a little more lean, a little more concise.
Or if we play it straight as a serious movie where a son has to come and defend his father, which, by the way, is asinine.
You would have to recuse yourself, I would think.
On many levels, but okay. Let's go one way or the other, and then let's let Robert Downey Jr. be an actor rather than be Tony Stark, or be that... it's a Tony Stark character. That's what he is there, except he's a lawyer.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's what it is. He's giving the people what they want, but just sign up for more Avengers films then. That would be my suggestion. Do what you do in Chaplin. Do what you do in Weird Science, for Christ's sake.
Throw yourself into the role, become someone else.
Because you can do it.
Yeah,
we like that Robert Downey Jr.
This is Tony Stark. This is lawyer Tony Stark.
Without the armor. I was expecting the Mark II to show up somewhere.
It's not quite as quippy, but there's definitely enough quips there for it to be distracting.
Jarvis, check the law records. I need information on old men drunk driving, 1970 Cadillac. Thank you, sir. Doing a search. I've got 442 stories.
So you're saying you liked it?
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it.
It angered me.
I was within 20 minutes. You
knew what you were getting.
I was disappointed in the type of filmmaking I was getting. This so blatantly every filmic shorthand, like you said, filmic shorthand for big city, small town, father-son issues. It's all in there, and it's thrown in a blender, and mixed up, and it's weaker for it. This is, a lot of times you want a film to be better than the sum of its parts. This is worse than the sum of its parts. You could have carved off about any of the subplots and had a stronger film for it. And
by the way, we didn't even get into the fact that there are no women in this film. They are undermined, the women that are in there.
Yes. It
is a boy's story. And, okay, that's fine.
Older brother has a wife. She shows up in one scene. 2
scenes, and she never talks. They would show her sitting on the couch smiling, and she was there at the funeral type stuff at the beginning with the mother. Yeah. And then you've got the former girlfriend who has always pined for this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue that she does at least have some agency. She's made her own way in the world.
Sure.
And she even said she wants to be the hero in her own story.
Yeah,
so
but even that
whole
speech,
line is cliched, but...
That whole speech was lame-o. We can do better. Yeah. You've got great actors. You've got, going into this movie, when you're producing this, you've got a script that is rote. You've got a subject matter that's been done a million times before. We've
seen all of the sweeping courtroom shots in other films.
So you need to do better. Yeah. You need to elevate yourself beyond the material. And they did not do that.
No, they didn't.
Let's give it a score.
The Scope score is 1 star.
So 1 star.
1 star. I think Robert Duvall's performance probably helps it earn a star.
Yeah. And Downey Jr. is a good actor.
Yes.
He made the most of maybe more than what he should have. But he had good moments.
If you're saying that he had a guiding hand in the production of this film, and if that's true, then I definitely see it. It feels like a vanity project.
Yeah. A vanity project gone horribly wrong.
Robert, you can do so much better.
You can. You should, dude. We're talking to you right now.
Probably. I'm scared to go look at other reviews when we get home because I feel like other people have given this high marks.
They might be sucked into it, but they shouldn't be.
You mentioned Patch Adams, Pay It Forward. It's in that class.
It is in that class.
We've got about a minute and a half before we pull into the driveway. Any closing comments?
Don't see this film.
Don't. Rated R comes out Friday, October 10th, but you don't need to know that because you're not going to go see it because you're good Scope listeners.
So, yes, Jared, don't see this film, even though we did it.
I did.
Tell our Scope fanatics how they can get in touch with us, or how they can see what we're doing right now.
You didn't stretch before this, did you?
I did not. I totally I got so angry about everything that I just cannot contain myself.
Yeah, if you like what we're doing, you can like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. All that's right down there in the bar.
Yes.
Or if you're listening at home, hey, thanks for downloading.
Thank you. So for Jared and me, and not for Robert Downey Jr.
No.
Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves once again at the end. I hope you've enjoyed our time together. I know I have. Fear not, Scope faithful. The days shall pass as if they were but a moment. And Jared, Adam, and Shane will return with another thrilling episode. Until then, send your comments to comments@thescopeshow.com or leave a voicemail message by dialing
612-21-SCOPE. That's 612-217-2673.
Thanks for listening, faithful fans. This is Tony Partington saying arrivederci. Tune in next time to another terrific edition of The Scope.
13 minutes is too long for a bad review.